featherweight champion of the world. Shout out to TD Sports. TD Sports. Let's go, champ.
What's good, YouTube? What is good? What's going on? Hope everyone is doing well on this Father's Day weekend. We got a lot to talk about. On the screen, you see my boy from the Bronx, Ofacio Falcone. He should be joining us shortly. But for now, it's just me and my favorite co-host, D Free. What is good, D Free? How you doing today, bro?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. What's going on with you?
Chilling, man. It's been a long, entertaining week for me. I don't know about you, and it continues this weekend. I had a lot of stuff going on, and I'll start off with this. Salute to my man Pedro Fernandez, Ring Talk Worldwide. He says, Tommy D, Sir Thomas Dillamuth, the king, whatever name you're going by. You and your wife are to be commended on the educational prowess of your daughter. So when you come on tonight, take a bow. And that's one of the things I wanted to just start off with briefly. This week my daughter graduated from high school. She was the salutatorian. That's number 2 in her class. Not too shabby. She was on the Honor Society. She graduated and got an associate's degree in college at the same time, as well as a high school diploma. I mean, very, very proud. It's no better feeling to be proud of your kids. My son graduated last year. He's doing well. He's in school right now in college. And I am going to take a little bow for myself and my wife. We did a good job. And, my kids are doing well, and they continue to progress and, make us look good. And I'm very proud to just talk about that briefly. So thank you, Pedro, and thank you for everyone out there to support. And, we'll go on. So Southern T, thanks for coming through. Salute to you. My man, Mr. Shelton in the building. Something wrong with this guy. Salute to Mr. Shelton. My man, Clarence. Clarence was with us last week at the press conference in weigh-in. My man, Clarence, is always good to see him. I was just talking to him on the phone earlier today. Salute to you, my friend. But, we got lots to talk about. Last Saturday, if you don't know, I was in Madison Square Garden along with Sock and a few other people. We was for the Sanders Ayers card. We were there in person. It was a great feeling. The atmosphere was great. There was a lot of legends in the building as well. A lot of, A-plus celebrities in there. You had Roberto Duran in there. The Monster Inoue was there. A couple other fighters, local fighters as well. Richard Hitchison was there. Pistol Pete Dobson was there. Jermaine Ortiz and a lot of other fighters. It was a great atmosphere. And New York definitely showed out for the fighters on this card. I'm going to briefly pass it over to D Free so you could, talk about your week, what you thought of last week's card, and we'll take it from there.
First of all, congratulations to your daughter, man. She definitely did her thing, graduating valedictorian and all of the accolades that she got in high school. I mean, shouts out to her. I had a big week myself. I just had another granddaughter on yesterday.
Congratulations.
That's number 8 now.
Wow, man, big family, huge. Yeah. Congrats.
Yeah, so my youngest stepson had his first daughter yesterday. So he had a early Father's Day gift. So he's a Father's Day right before Father's Day.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a great week. I mean, we knew it was going to happen any moment, and it just happened yesterday. So, the fights was definitely everything that I expected last week. I picked the fight the only one I didn't pick right was Xander. I thought Xander would get the stoppage, but all the rest of them I picked them exactly how I thought it was going to happen. But I thought Xander would get the stoppage, and in that fight, I gave him a A. He would have got an A+ for the stoppage, but I think he didn't go to the body enough because I think he hurt him to the body early in that fight, and I wanted to see him go back down to that body. He did it a few times, but he didn't stay consistent going to the body. But everybody put on a hell of a performance. Fazio, he put on a hell of a performance. I gave him an A as well. Because he was in there with a guy that was definitely tough, and that guy was not trying to lose. He was not trying to be defeated. And Fozzy, I gotta say, and I'm gonna tell him when he comes up here, I believe that was the best that I've seen of him as of so far. I saw excellent movement. I saw excellent defense. I saw excellent footwork. I mean, that's the best that I've seen. And I watched the last two fights prior to that, and like I said, by far this was the best performance I've seen from him, and I could see the growth in him. I don't know if it has something to do with Sock, but I definitely saw the growth in Ofazio. He put on a performance, and I was happy for him because I know he wanted to show out for the fans and for Puerto Rican weekend. I know he wanted to show out, and he did not let it up. I mean, he did not put it or let us down at all. He definitely did his thing out there.
Absolutely, yes, indeed. He did. He looked really good. You know, I got some questions to ask him because this was, I believe, his first fight without his father in his corner. So that'll be one of the questions we're going to ask him and see how he felt in preparation for this fight and how did it feel, you know, emotionally, you know, and you know, without his father in the corner. His father was in the crowd though; he was in the stand screaming. As you know, I did see him. But yeah, that'll be one of the questions. So yeah, man, Ofacio, you know, looking to get signed, I believe. I'm gonna ask him that to see if he, you know, maybe got something secure. He's not signed to any promotional company, even though he's fought over the Top Rank banner the last 2 times. I believe this was his 3rd fight in the Garden. So yeah, once he gets on, we'll definitely, you know, ask him the questions. But he looked good. He dropped him in I believe the 2nd round. He dropped the guy. You know, the guy was tough. He was durable. He's coming off 2 straight wins. He's from in your neck of the woods, only the other side, Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah. You know, and you know, he was a crafty fighter as well. It's funny, before I got into I got inside when I was waiting outside to get in on the credential line. I met some of his family, the opponent, and I was like, "Hey, aren't you guys with you know the opponent of mine?" He was like, "Yeah," and it was like, "Yeah, wow," and I was like, "Yeah, that's my guy." And I ended up taking pictures with them. They took pictures of me. One of them was the sponsor. Real nice people. I think there was the first time in New York, I believe, too. So, you know, they were real nice and everything. So
yeah,
but,
I mean, yeah, I was laughing when the guy got dropped because we was actually calling the fight live.
Okay.
And, when he got dropped and he was complaining, he was like, "No, it hit me in my shoulder." That's still a drop.
Yeah.
When the punch hits your body and you go down, it's a knockdown. They were like, "Oh, but he didn't get hit in the chin." It doesn't matter if he get hit in the chin. Because if you get hit to the stomach and you go down, it's a knockdown. You get hit in the shoulder, you go down, it's a knockdown.
Yep.
So it was still a knockdown. It just wasn't a damaging knockdown, but it was still a knockdown. And it was rightfully so that he got the 8 count because he got knocked down.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish he would. He hurt him. I think he hurt him in the 4th, I believe. I can't remember who's watching it. You know, we're very critical of guys we like and admire and we know. So I'm a little critical. Sock is the same way. He'll probably speak about it when he gets on. But yeah, there's a few things we're going to ask him as well. Shout out to my man PYP Boxing. I don't know if this is David or not, but David was with us last week as well. Good dude. You know, shout out to you. Salute to you. Salute to you, official 2K DJ. What's the prediction for the fights tomorrow? How many rounds? We're going to get to that. We're just recapping real quick of last week's fight, and we're going to get to that. Hopefully, Ofacio gets on soon, and we could ask him the questions. I'm going to tell you who I was really impressed with, who I thought had maybe the best or one of the best performances of the night, and that was Jahai Tucker. Jahai Tucker looked phenomenal. I mean, I wish he would have got the stoppage. He hurt him, I think, in the 1st round. He had him kind of doing like the little stanky leg dance. But Jahai Tucker looked phenomenal. Probably the best I've seen him. And he was fighting pretty much with one arm. He wasn't even using his left hand much. I tried to speak to him a little bit later that night about it. and he kind of showed me his hand and said, "Let's keep that between me and you." I'm not saying no more, but yeah. So it looked like his left hand was a little bit messed up. He did use it in the fight, but he was fight. It was one time he just threw like 5, 6 straight uppercuts with his right hand. It was just crazy.
Yeah,
So yeah, man. I think Jahai Tucker to me was the most impressive. He fought a tough, durable guy as well. You know, Jahai Tucker is always in tough fights. I was hoping to get him on tonight. I'm going to see. Hopefully, he gets in contact with me this weekend and set something up later on, maybe during the week next week. So,
what you think about the call out?
Which one? Who call out?
Shushu called out Monster.
Oh, I think it's great, David. He's been talking about that fight for a minute. I thought it was pretty cool when he bowed to him, and then Inoue waved to him and stuff. So I thought it was cool. The only thing is, Inoue has to move up. Shushu's not moving down.
Yeah, I know. See, the only thing I said it, and I said it to when we was calling the fight, everybody was like, "Oh, yeah, put him in." Me personally, if Shushu want to get in there with him, by all means, go ahead and do what you want to do. It's your career. Me personally, I think Shushu should get 2 more tough opponents because the guys they put them in there, they durable guys, but they not preparing him for somebody like a Monster anyway. When you putting a fighter in there with that level of opponent, you want to get him the best opportunity to perform well. And right now, he's not fighting those individuals that will make him be prepared for somebody like Monster anyway. Now, I believe that Shushu would give Monster anyway problems. Do I think that he will beat him at this point? I don't know because, like I said, he's not in there with that type of competition that will get him prepared for somebody like a Monster anyway. Now, like I said, if he wants to get in there with him, by all means, I'm gonna watch the fight. I think it's gonna be an entertaining fight. Do I think he's highly prepared for that fight? Not right now. I don't. Not with only. I think he only got what 11 fights. I think it's somewhere like between 10 and 11, something like that.
I think he's 12-0. I think it's like 12-0.
Okay, 12. Out of those 12 fights,
let me see the sheet here. I got the fight here. Hold on. I think he's. Yeah, my eyes are really bad. Yeah, he's now 12-0. Yeah, he was 11-0 and he's 12-0 now. Yeah.
Yeah. So with those fights, none of those individuals that he fought in the past prepared him for somebody like a Monster anyway. But I mean, like I said, if he wants to get in there, by all means, it's going to be an entertaining fight. But I would like to see him in there with 2 more tough opponents that's preparing him for somebody like a Monster anyway. You can get somebody in there that got power with some hand speed. You can get him in there with somebody that got some footwork and some decent power. Because there's guys at 126. Now they might not be on the level of a Monster anyway, but they can prepare him for a Monster in a way. And so everybody can say, "Oh, well, who is he going to get that's going to be like a Monster anyway?" It's not about getting him somebody that's like Monster anyway. It's about getting him the experience to be prepared for somebody like Monster anyway. That's why you have sparring partners to spar to get you ready for the opponent that you're about to face. If you got a guy that got good footwork, you're gonna find somebody that got good footwork. It might not be on the same level as that opponent, but it's going to be somebody that got good footwork to make you be prepared for somebody with footwork. If you got somebody with power, they might not have the same power of the opponent that you're about to fight, but they got power, so they get you ready for somebody that has power. So it's just about of him getting the experience of fighting somebody with some hand speed that has power and somebody that has some movement, because Monster anyway can move around the ring, and he does have quick hands and he has power. I want to see him in there with somebody like that. I haven't seen Shushu in there with anybody of that caliber. Now, they might not have all of those in the same person. You can give them multiple opponents. One of them have some of the attributes. The other one will have some of the other attributes.
Yeah.
But it will get him prepared. So he'll be like, okay, well, I fought this guy that had footwork and hand speed. I fought this guy that had power. So I just put both of those together. What did I do with that guy? What did I do with that guy? Now I got to put all that together. I got the experience to deal with the footwork. I got the experience to deal with somebody with power.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then we're gonna get back to that in a minute. I'm gonna go over the top 10 guys in the WBO rankings. But right now, our guest has arrived. And without further ado, let's add him from the Bronx, the Sniper Ofacio Falcone. What's going on, bro? What's going
How you
on?
doing? How you guys doing? How you doing, brother?
What's going on? What's going on?
D Free got a new toy, so he's playing with it right now.
Nah,
So.
it's fire though. It's fire. I realize it.
But Ofacio, first things first, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, thank God, bro. I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed. I can't complain, bro.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. You know, listen, we were just talking about your fight, and then we went into Shushu, so now we're gonna go back to it. You know, we're gonna talk about your performance, and then you're gonna give us your grade, and we're gonna ask you some questions. But I'm gonna lead off with D Free because D Free was very, very impressed with your fight, and he said it was one of the best you've seen, and he rated it A. So D Free, you lead the way, and you started off.
Yeah, no, like I told Thomas, I saw the two previous fights that you had, and by far this was the best performance I've seen that you had. I see the growth that you're going through, and I don't know if it's with the new trainer or if it's just the maturity and the experience that you're seeing in the ring. But I definitely see the growth, and like I told Thomas, this is by far the best performance I've seen. I saw the footwork, I saw the defense, I saw the hand speed, I saw the difference in the levels that you was doing. The only thing that stopped it from being an A plus is you didn't get the stoppage, but you was in there with a guy that was game that he wasn't trying to go down. Even when he got knocked down, he was like, "Hey, I didn't get knocked down. He hit me." It was still a knockdown. You got punched. You
Yeah,
went
I
down.
was
It
seeing.
wasn't a slip.
I was seeing some bullshit talking about. He was talking about I pushed him. I didn't push him, bro. How the hell I
No,
pushed him? I was far
It was
away
a
from him,
punch.
bro. Yeah, bro. It's
Right.
whatever. Though.
You went down. That was the only thing that stopped you from getting the A plus because what I saw in that, and I wasn't expecting to see that. I was expecting to see you look good, but I wasn't expecting you to see you look as good as you did because, like I said, I saw every aspect of a fighter who's ready to take that next level. He's ready to move up and take that next level, and you keep moving forward with your career, and you keep studying your craft and bettering your craft. Man, the sky's the limit for you.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. Thank you, bro.
so Ofacio, so I'll lead it off. How was it working with? I believe his name is K Karoma. He
Yes.
works. He works with Shushu, I believe. How
Yes.
was it? You know, working with him in this camp for your fight.
It was great. I didn't work with him for the entire camp. I worked with him the week of the fight. Things got hectic during the camp. I'll lead more into that in a little bit. But as far as working with him for fight week, the guy's very, very knowledgeable, bro. Like he's one type of guy that can just tell you something and break a person down like instantly. And we were just honestly just working on things that he's seen in me that I can perfect. And I'm a very quick learner, and you tell me something, and I go home and I'm thinking about that all night, bro. So I came in fight night with a couple of things that he told me. He's an amazing man, super experienced. He's a great coach, man. Great.
Nice, great. So there was another guy you work with that I know of. Do you feel like you maybe want to mention him? There was a guy that I know that in the Bronx that you work with. He works with fighters. He's a brother of a fighter. I don't know if you want to mention him on the air as well. That helped you with this fight. How was that working with him?
He has great power. I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about Carlos.
Yes.
He has great power. I brought him in about 4 weeks before roughly 4 weeks, until the actual fight date. I brought him in just for pad work. I like his power because he let my hands go. And yeah, so great. I was working with the guy who's been helping me for like 12 weeks straight was Mac. I don't know if
Mac.
you know Mac. Yeah, Mac
Yes.
was yeah. So Mac
Mhm.
was the one helping me for 12 weeks. That was the coach this camp.
Okay. Yeah. And then those of you don't know, I don't know if people know, Carlos is the brother of Josue Vargas.
Yes.
So that's just in case you guys know. I knew you was working with him, but I didn't know. I figured I'll let you bring it up and ask
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, but he was there screaming out loud. I heard he was crazy.
Yeah, Carlos is crazy, yo.
Yeah,
Carlos is
he's
crazy. He's nuts.
he's nuts.
I was like, so when we come out, right, for the fights, me and the fighter have to cross each other. So when I seen the guy go out, I'm looking at Carlos. Carlos has a camera in his face, right? He's like, yo, I'm gonna fuck you up. I mean, he's gonna fuck you up. Watch this, you suck. And the guy's pointing at Carlos. And in the ring, the guy gets up, he points at Carlos. And when he announces his name, he points at Carlos. I'm like, yo, bro, why you worried about Carlos for, bro?
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
got me in front of you. Like, it was crazy,
Because
bro.
when
Carlos is crazy, bro.
Yeah, because when he came out, when his music hit, and he came out, Carlos came down from what he was sitting at, and he got closer to it, and he was
Yeah.
chirping at him the whole way. I was like,
Yeah,
and
Carlos is
I'm
nuts.
next to Sock, and I'm like, yo, look at this guy. This guy's fucking.
Carlos is nuts, bro. Carlos is nuts.
Yeah.
So Fazio, I noticed that you had a new trainer in your corner. How did it feel to have a different mouth in your ear?
So in all my camps in my past 3 fights, I've had Mac. So it really wasn't. Mac was the one helping me this entire camp, so it really wasn't that big of a change. It was like kind of a familiar face. I mean, for other than my father, usually who's the guy in front of me, but since he wasn't the guy in front of me this fight, it really wasn't that big of a change. I'm one person that I'm very mentally strong, and I work on things like this. So I work on scenarios. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the type of guy that I try to make sure there's no hole that can mess with me while I'm in there, whether I'm hurt or injured or I don't know, I can't see from one eye or I'm cut and the blood streaming. I always try to figure out how can I get through those things and I think ahead of time. So that was something that I always thought can happen. So I was prepared for it. But also I kept a familiar face with me, so I was still feeling comfortable. And as far as the other two guys that were in my corner, which is K Karoma and Smalls, it just felt natural, man. I was Kate Caroma was there my last fight. He has a, if you guys ever met him, he has very like natural, he has naturally just great energy, and so was K Smalls. The first time I met him was this fight. They both just gave me that good energy that what you're looking for in a team. You know what I'm saying? That comfortability. So I felt like it really didn't change anything, honestly.
Yeah.
So let's cut to the chase. So like this is your first fight, I believe, without your father. Was there any like emotionally like did it emotionally affect you or mentally affect you? Fighting without your father in your corner.
Um, Mentally, no. Like I said a couple minutes ago, I'm mentally strong, so
Yes.
I prepare for things like this. Um, and in life, the people go through things. You know what I'm saying? Me and my father went through a bunch of things outside of boxing that kind of translated a lot of times inside of boxing. And in this camp, long story short, that same exact thing happened. And I made the decision. Well, he made the decision, and I did that. I'll move forward with what I'm doing, and he'll continue doing what he's doing. So it was a mutual agreement. I mean, as far as um, having any emotions going in the ring. Of course, at first I was like, damn, like I'm going into the fight without my pops. It's the first time. How would I feel? But then as the camp got closer, what I did was to close the gap. I worked 20 times harder than I've ever have. I've been doing, I added, like, I made sure that if there was a gap missing, that there isn't any. And I feel like that's what helped me step up my game. And the reason why I looked the way I looked that night, I've always worked hard, but the fact that he stepped away and I was out of my comfort zone, I feel like that's what helped me move to that next level mentally. And I thank him for doing that. And I just thank all the people that came up and stepped up for me, and helped me do what I was doing. So fight night, I was prepared for it. And no, it did not affect me mentally or emotionally at all.
Okay. We welcome BVO. BVO's one of my co-hosts on the show. He's a little late, but he's here just in case. If BVO, feel free to chime in if you want. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming on the show today, man. I appreciate you, man.
How you doing, brother? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. I just got one question for you, man. So, what got you into the sport?
There was a lot of things, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I thought I can answer this question like before. I thought I can answer it like with a straight answer, bro. And before I would just say like my father used to be an amateur fighter. I used to go to his fights and watch him fight. And then things happened. He went away for a little while. And then when he came out, I remember I was like 13 years old and I was telling him like, hey, I want to box. I want to box. Bring me to the gym. And he never brought me to the gym at one point. Like I guess they didn't want me to fight. And I used to always fight in school. I used to try to practice on people. My mom used to get calls every day. So one day I told my father, I went home. I was like, you know what? If you're not gonna bring me to the gym, I'm gonna go find one myself. And then when I go to school, I'm gonna just go look for one. And I guess that's what inspired him. To this day, he'll probably tell you that that's what inspired them to bring me to a boxing gym. And then the first gym I went to was, I think it was a gym called at the time was Pop's Boxing Gym, but then they changed it to Worldwide Boxing Gym by Jerome. And I went in there, and the first day they wanted to see if I had heart, so they put me to spar and ended up beating the guy up. And everybody in there was like, "Yo, keep him in the gym. He has talent. He has talent." And ever since then, I never looked back, bro.
So that being said, you said, you know, that's pretty cool how that happened. But growing up in a tough area, did that contribute to you wanting to box, or because you like,
No, absolutely. I mean, I don't like. I mean, I don't like. You know, going back. But if I would say, like, yes, I would say that yes, I do come from. You know, I would say almost nothing. You know what I'm saying? We struggled. Everybody does. So you know, but I just don't like looking back, and you know, I like looking forward. You know, into my career. You know what I'm saying? So yes, but that did make me mentally tough. It made me, you know, focus more on the path that I'm heading and not where I was. Is just focus more on where I'm going. And yeah, I think it did influence where I'm at today. Yes, I
because
fight.
you know, we from the hood, man. Me, you from the
Yeah,
hood.
yeah, yeah. We
You a
come
light
from.
skinned cat. I know they were
That's a
jumping on
fact.
you or
That's a
charging
fact,
you.
bro. Yeah. So you know what it is, bro. Like you know what it is, bro. You know what it is down there, bro. So every time I step up in that ring, I step in there with a mindset of he's trying to take what I work for, and I've been working for everything since I was 13 years old. No breaks, no. I didn't cut no corners. I didn't get no easy way out. I didn't have nobody give me a handout. I didn't turn pro and get signed to a promotion who built me to what I was. That crowd that you guys seen June 8th, it was authentic. It was built from young to where I am now. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go in any promotion. Nobody promoted me or anything like that. It came straight from hard work, dedication, and just praying, bro. That's it. And looking forward. That's it, bro. So every time I step up in there, like I said, bro, like you said, yes, the hardship from back then did impact where I am today. Because every time I go in there, I think about my family and everything I've been through, and I go in there with 150% of me. So yes, absolutely.
Me,
You
And,
and me,
know,
me and Thomas was talking about that earlier. That
yeah.
you're not promoted by anybody, and you've been on top rank. I think the last two fights you was on top rank.
Yes.
I I'm a step out on a limb and say they might be giving you a call within the next fight or two for a promotion. They might be giving you a call because the performance that I've seen, eh, they will be doing themselves a disservice to let you go to another promotion company. They will.
I've done fought on almost every platform now. Well, you know the major platforms like Golden Boy.
Yeah,
I've done fought on
that's
the
what I'm saying.
Zone. I've
They
done
they
fought on
they
Top Rank.
seen it, and they will be doing themselves a disservice by letting you go to another platform, and they had you right there.
I agree. You know, one thing that I always think about in boxing, bro, is like, what are you looking for? Because if you're looking for, like, I try to give myself a category, right? I write a list of things that they may be looking for and see if I check it off. And I'd be 100% honest with myself because if I lie to myself, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? So, my checklist was it started off, am I, a good looking kid? Absolutely. Am I a well-spoken young kid? You know, I'm not like just a guy who gets on TV and don't know how to speak or handle the crowd. Yes, I'm a well-spoken kid. Um, do I work hard? Do I have actual talent? Absolutely. Do I have a fan base? I mean, you guys seen it yourself. Absolutely. What are you looking for? If you're looking for, do I have a great record? Absolutely. Have I been fighting actual fighters? Yes, absolutely. Like, what are you guys looking for? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
well,
I'm just praying that this performance or my last performance or any other performance before that, inspires them to sign me. So that was in the talks before this fight. They told me if I take my last fight, not my last fight, the fight before that one, that they're looking to sign me. I took it. I beat the dude. The guy happened to be a whatever. He was in Olympic trials or something like that. A southpaw. My first ever southpaw. I boxed him. I fought this guy. He was another tough guy that said that he was gonna give me a different look. I went in there, mind you, I didn't tell nobody this, but the week before the fight, I was in a horrible accident. My Camaro was totaled on the way from sparring, and I still took the fight. I didn't back. No, I already had the fight. I didn't back out the fight. So my lower back, the reason why I didn't let my hands go like I usually do, is because my lower back was kind of hurting every time I let go of right hand. So if you notice, if you were watching the fight, I was using my jab and being dominant with feints, foot feints, and just redirecting them every time I can. And I let go of right hand every now and then, but that's what was limiting me. But nobody really noticed that. Um,
Hey,
but I
I
got three
definitely
fights. You know
didn't.
what
I
I'm saying?
definitely didn't notice because, like I told you, that was the best performance I've seen from you. And
Thank you, brother.
for you,
Thank you.
for you
well,
to,
I'll ask you
And you
this
know
though,
what's crazy? Brad Goodman told me the same thing from Top Rank. He was like, "That was the best I've ever seen you." And I was like,
Yeah.
"I appreciate it." Mind you, nobody knows what's been going on. You know what I'm saying?
well, let me ask you this, man. One thing I noticed about you, man, and it's not a bad thing. But what do you think about people thinking about you being a little bit outspoken? Because you're not an ass kisser, so that's the thing. You don't think that'll kind of be hard to get signed, or because you
I
kind of
mean,
seem like you gonna tell how it is, man. How many people do that like you do, especially as young as you are?
I've been raised that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't lie. I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm not gonna. What I won't do. You know what? That was good. That was a good question you just asked me because the other day when we was doing the fighter meeting,
Mm-hmm.
Timothy Bradley asked me. He was like, "Yo," there was a question that he asked me. He was like, "Why aren't you more like? Why don't you speak about yourself more? Why don't you be more vocal?" And my answer to him was, "Because I feel like I don't need to be, bro. Because I work, and I'm gonna explain to you why. I'm gonna explain to you why. With my work ethic, from where I come from." With the crowd that I bring and the performance that I put on that night, I shouldn't have to go and tell you guys, hey, I'm a great fighter. Hey, right here, this guy can sell tickets. This guy can um have a fan base, you know what I'm saying? It's like I shouldn't have to do that. I feel like my work speaks for itself. And then after the fight, when I see Timothy Bradley, he shook my hand, he told me amazing performance. I shook his hand and I asked him, I was like, do you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was like, absolutely. So I was like, thank you. And my whole point behind that was I don't have to speak. I'm not the one of the guys that I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna punch you in the face. I'm the type of guy to just come and do it, if it
Mhm.
makes sense. So no, I don't feel like I have to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna let my
Well,
work speak for itself. And if it don't, then you know what I'm saying. I'm asked out.
the hard thing is, and this is a God's honest truth. When you're a guy who just let his work show, you end up like Terrence Crawford.
Absolutely.
Um, I think people don't understand because of how Muhammad was so outspoken, boisterous. Even guys like a Tank, as you see, was quiet, not anymore. So I get what you're saying, but I think you might have to add that to the game. Are you opposed to doing that? Talking a little bit more crap?
Absolutely. I'm definitely opposed to it. Let a guy take me out of character. Absolutely. I'm just the type of dude that when the work is done
Yeah.
and I'm getting ready to fight, what are we speaking about? I'm gonna see you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That's how I think. Like,
Good
I'm gonna
word.
see you fight night. So say whatever you want right now, but fight night, you know what's gonna happen. Like, we gonna have to fight. You got to show me everything you're saying. So why waste my breath? Like, it's just pointless. I mean, it's
What,
entertaining for the people. So
let me ask you this: like, when you're a fighter, do you think of it being a show business or not really?
honestly, not even think that never passed through my head. When I get in there, yeah, how is it business if you're trying to take you're trying to take food off my family's plate? How is it business when you trying to if you had the opportunity to knock me out or kill me, you would. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when I'm in that ring, and I always pray for both me and the fighter. But when
Mm-hmm.
I'm in that ring, it's kill or be killed. And if I kill you, it is what it is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's obviously that's never mind. It's the truth because you're
Mhm.
trying to kill me, bro. So I'm coming with the same
Yeah.
intentions, bro. Of course,
Yeah.
I do not want to kill anybody. That is never
Yeah.
has never ever passed them. But
On the
when I
live, yeah,
go in
that's
there,
for
with
sure.
every punch I throw, I'm coming with everything I got, and it's every intention to do harm and damage. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's unfair, but I think a lot of times, like I said, when you are like you like a man who likes to just show his work, bring your lunch pail. I think unfortunately, as we always see, those guys always get overlooked.
No,
And
absolutely. And
I would be remiss not to say that to you, man. Because
no,
I
no,
want to
you're
see you do
right. You're
well.
right. You're right,
You,
bro. And you know what? I've been noticing that, bro. Which is why this fight I was actually a little bit more vocal. Maybe not on cameras and stuff, but behind the scenes, I spoke to these guys, the more higher up guys. And I'm telling them like, yo, you guys told me that this fight was the fight, so I took less. I took
mhm.
whatever you said, and I'm giving you what you want for the past couple fights. So after this fight, the price went up, and just know what I'm demanding now. I'm not coming for you guys. Know what I'm about now. I don't got to prove myself no more. So just give me what I
Mhm.
asked for, and you guys gonna get whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm more vocal in that aspect as to like I feel like I've been all over social media. I've been looking on Twitter, I've been looking on Instagram and Facebook, and I see people saying like, "Yo, don't get me wrong." And mind you, I'm not talking shit about anybody. These guys are all amazing fighters, bro. So let me put
Mhm.
that out there first before I say this. But like for example, all the other Puerto Rican fighters, like for example, Xander Zayas. It was like Xander Zayas. Everybody's speaking. There was this one comment on Facebook. The guy was like, um, everybody's speaking about Xander Zayas, and he's a Puerto Rican and he's a great fighter. But why is nobody speaking about this young man, Ofacio Falcon, who's also, I believe, one of the great, who's gonna be one of the great Puerto Rican fighters. And I'm like, yo, like I'm finally somebody said that, so I replied to him. I was like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? It's not to knock anybody else, but I
Yeah.
just feel like I bring a different type of style to the Puerto Rican game. When you think Puerto Rican boxing, you think left hook, you think flat footed, you think stuff like that. I don't
Yeah.
have any of those attributes. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm bringing a whole nother aspect. So, like, come on, let me help you change the game. Like, I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know what I got to do. And I feel like even me talking shit is going to put me in a worse position, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The reason I bring that up is because I think sometimes, and it's tough because this is your day to day life. This
Yeah,
is how you make your living, and I know how serious that can be. not to your level, but I'll just say that I think sometimes you got to kind of take yourself out of it and realize that when people are coming to the show, they want to be entertained. They want to hear you say,
Nah, hell
hey,
yeah, absolutely.
they want to hear you invite that dude to your private parts. That's what they want to hear because it gets people going.
Absolutely.
I remember one of my favorite fights, man, recently was when Devin fought Loma, and Devin just pushed Loma so hard. I couldn't imagine a guy pushing you, man, because I know what you probably try to hurt somebody.
I know,
you know?
Yo, when he pushed, I remember that day when he pushed Loma. When he pushed Loma just stepped back and walked away, and I was like, "Yo, hell no! You pushed me like that. Fuck boxing." Fuck boxing, bro.
You know, Ofacio, you answered pretty much the questions I was going to ask you, but I'm just going to mention it. You know, I know you talked about the atmosphere and how, you know, you're selling tickets. You know, that is a fact. And that's what I was going to ask you, how you felt about the atmosphere. Your third time fighting in the Garden, you had a good turnout. I mean, when your fight came on, you fought third in the card, and the crowd went crazy.
Before you say this, have you, before everybody was there, right? Everybody seen the fight? Have you guys ever been to a top rank fight at MSG, right? And by the third round, have you ever seen it that crowded?
No.
Thank you.
No. It was filled up early.
Thank you.
You know,
when I came out, if you watch the fights on ESPN, everybody from the back, because they show the back row camera, everybody from the back to the front was standing up. Yep. I'm telling you, it was my people, bro.
Yeah. That's what. And how does that feel? Like, you know, this is your third fight, and you're getting better and better.
It feels like my work is being shown. Like I said before, I don't gotta speak. I told you everybody's gonna feel me, bro, and everybody's gonna show up, and everybody's gonna see me perform. And I feel like that night, that crowd and everybody is just a little example of what's to come, bro. I'm a superstar, and I don't know why don't they see this already, bro?
I'm gonna tell you what I saw.
If you ever noticed, I'm kind of frustrated off that too. Like it's like, come on, bro, what are we doing?
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you what I saw when you came out. What I was looking at, because me and BBO, we was calling the fight live on our channel, on our podcast. And what I told BBO, I said, these Puerto Ricans sold more than T.O. did, and he fought Josh Taylor.
Oh,
that's crazy. Come on, bro.
But Ofacio, keep in mind, D Freeze a Puerto Rican too. He's just a dark one. Don't forget.
Hey, I'm just saying that house was filled. That house was filled.
Come on, bro. That's what I'm saying. Is like so then it comes back to my question, bro. You looking for a good-looking guy? I got that. You guys looking for? I'm self-promoted. I promote myself. Look at my social media. I do everything myself.
Yep.
My followers are organic. My crowd, I sell tickets. You can see it. I can actually fight. I'm not one of those guys that just have a bunch of followers and he's coming and he can't really, bro. I can fight. I'm taking what you guys are asking me to do and I'm performing at the level I am. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't understand. Like my question to them will be, what are you looking for? So that I can meet the criteria. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been working since I was 13 years old, bro. And I posted this fight. I posted the link one time. I never posted it again.
Yeah.
You look how many people came out.
Yeah, a lot of people came
you see
out.
What I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I think I'll say this, man. I definitely think you're the truth.
Thank you, bro.
You definitely box like you've been hanging out with the brothers, man. So
no, bro, let me tell you something, bro. I imagined me being here years ago. So the fact that I'm here now, it just feels normal, bro. Like I'm supposed to be here.
I got one more question. I got two questions, but I'm gonna go to this one. What's next? What do you want to do? Like I know you want to step up in the competition, but are you looking to try to get signed by are you trying to work something out with Top Rank maybe?
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be a little bit open with you guys. So my last two fights for Top Rank, the first fight they was just taking a look at me. This fight was supposed to be the fight that I get signed. So God willing, the way everything's supposed to go, my manager's supposed to contact me this week and hopefully it's good news. So I'm waiting for them to come to me and tell me, and I'm praying that they make the right decision. Because come on, man, I don't know what we're doing. But as far as my goals, I do want to get signed to Top Rank. And if not, I will go, where I'm wanted, which is, Matchroom or Golden Boy or something like that. But I belong with Top Rank, bro.
Yeah. I'll ask you this, man, because I know what you're saying, but I will say, as somebody who wants to see you do well, man, please be careful with the fights you are taking. And the reason I say that, let me tell you why I say that. I'm gonna tell you why I say that. I see a lot of Tevin Farmer in you. I see a really good fighter, good athlete, who took a lot of hard ass fights, and really, and when he finally got his shot, they wanted to bring up the hard ass fights he lost. So that's the one thing I'll say as your brother, man. Don't let them fool you to take. Don't be trying to fight Superman, dude.
And you know what? And but listen, bro, I agree with you 150%. But like for my past 4 fights, right? So when I went to Matchroom, they offered me a fight. It was a 3-day notice fight. They called me Monday, and I fought Saturday. They said, "You want it?" I said, "My man's like, this could be a good opportunity to showcase your talent not only to them. That'll be my second time on Matchroom to showcase your talent to them, but also to bro, like you taking a fight at 3 days notice, they'll sign you." So I said, "All right, boom, let me take it." I went over there after 3 days notice. I went from 147 to 134. I fought the guy at 135 for him because that's the fight that he wanted to fight at. I mean, the weight. I beat him, flying colors, whatever. That guy fought Mark Castro for all of them, and I dropped him in the third round with a body shot that they didn't even count. But it's whatever, right? They never mentioned anything. They told me it was an amazing performance. They loved it, blah, blah, blah. Kept it pushing. Then Top Rank called. Boom. I know I reached out to Brad Goodman. Got this fight, my first fight, and they was offering me straight, like, well, not, I wouldn't say, bullshit, but they was offering me, tough fights like you were saying. I took the first guy they sent me, which is the guy I fought. He was like 11-3, something like that, too. He fought Shakur Stevenson in the Olympic trials. First ever Southpaw fought. He was like 5'10". Top Rank told me that this is like, they want to test me. They want to see what I'm about. I said, no problem. I took him, and you guys saw what I did to him.
Yep.
Then after that, they were so found and like so like in love with the performance. This fight was supposed to solidify it. They said, take this next fight we send you, fight what was it? What did I just fight? I just fought like June. What was it? June 8th. Fight June
Yeah.
8th, and if you perform well, God willing, all you got to do is win. We're looking at signing you. Mind you, Bob Arum has never been there for a third fight. He's always from like the last one on the undercard and up. He's there in the third fight.
Yeah,
Watching
he
the
was. Yep.
Yeah, he didn't take his eye off the fight. I was watching it on the ESPN. I performed the way I did. Mind you, nobody knows, and that's the only reason why I kept going with the fight, with the action. My cars totaled. I would show y'all videos of everything. And with the lower back injury, I've been doing therapy the whole camp. I made sure they didn't report it so that when I do the physical and stuff with the guy, that they don't see it on my doctor's paperwork. You know what I'm saying? So I had my doctor, approve it or whatever. I'm not gonna lie. And shit, it is what it is, bro. And then I fought. So after that performance, huh?
No, anybody say
Go
nothing?
ahead, go ahead.
Oh,
It's a
right
BVO's
after
got
that
background.
performance, I
Oh, I'm
went up to
sorry.
them. Brad Goodman was like, "That was the best I have ever seen you in my life." And not saying your last performances weren't great, but this one was like another level. He compared me to the likes of like Shakur, how my defense and my ring generalship and distance and stuff. And I told him I appreciate you, but I was promised something. Then he said, he said, "Yo, I want you back in September." I'm not gonna say the date because I don't know if I'm allowed to say anything. I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I've
I
heard the
should be
rumor
back.
too. Yeah,
I
yeah.
should be back in September
Yeah,
at
I've heard that they're
MSG.
coming
At,
back.
at MSG again. So you know what? Just call me Mr. MSG, bro. It's my 4th fight in a row, bro. So call me
Listen,
Mr. MSG, bro. But anyways, so September, right? I told him, my manager ended up telling him, because my manager is from the UK. He came down to see me fight this fight. My manager told me himself, he's like, the fact that the way I've seen the crowd and finally seen you perform, he knew I was a great fighter, and he knew I was a high level fighter. But he's like, this showed me like the actual level you on, and now I'm gonna demand what you're worth. So he
Yeah.
told Brad what it was, and he told him what I'm looking for. I told him I want to get signed, some type of fight deal or something, bro, and it got to make sense.
yeah.
So, God
Oh,
willing, bro, Brad told my manager, I want you September. I'm gonna be in contact with you, so I'm praying that everything goes well. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I hope so.
That
Okay.
top
But
rank.
as far as taking the tough fights, like you were saying, bro, sorry to cut you off. I
No,
100% agree with you. I 100% agree with BVO. And I'm being very, like, I took those fights for now just to prove to you that I am one of those guys. Now, but I want to be one of your guys, and I want you to treat me like one of them. Put it like that.
like top rank is excellent for upcoming fighters. They're going to give you the exposure that you need. I think top rank will be a perfect fit for you, being though you're coming up. You don't have a big name right now. You don't have a big following. You got a following, but you don't have a big following. So they're going to give you the exposure that you need to take your career to that next level. That will be an excellent signing if you get that chance to sign with Top Rank.
And I agree, bro. I agree with you, bro. And I'm just praying that, like I said, bro, they see what, even though they told me they seen it, but I'm praying that they, take the right actions towards it, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, let
maybe
me
I should
ask you
maybe
this.
maybe I should be a little bit more vocal and post on social media like, yo, what do y'all want to see? Me with Top Rank, like, and see what they say. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to cause no conflict. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how they will feel towards that. You know what I'm saying? So,
I will ask you this. Now, I know you want to be signed. I know that's like anybody want to get opportunity. But would you be opposed to being a free agent if it made
bro,
financial
listen,
sense?
that has not flew over my head either.
Hmm.
But I think it's more so that I want them. I want to feel. I think it's a personal thing. I want to feel that they sent me that just to have the contract in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, yeah, you did that.
Yeah.
And then from that moment forward, I'll make the decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But mind you, nobody knows this. I had a contract with Top Rank. I didn't sign it though. But they offered me a contract when I was like 4-0.
Mm.
Oh,
So it was like, but it was with another management that I was with. They offered me a contract. Shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Shit fell through. It was during COVID. Blah blah blah. But yo, bro, I had one before. So and I'm 20 times better than a fighter than I was back then. So
Mm-hmm.
what is going on? So my thing
Listen,
was like maybe there's something in the back end I don't know, or I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I mean,
But like I said, I'm a big believer guy, bro. I got faith, and I know it's gonna come to light eventually, bro.
yeah.
So I'm just doing my job.
Well, a couple things real quick, and I'm just going to mention something that I know of watching fights and being in New York City. First of all, you represent the Bronx. The Bronx hasn't had a champion in a long time. And I think with that being said, there's a lot of people from the Bronx that support you and that were there in that building that I know
Thank you.
personally. And they had friends of friends. And
Bro, I
that's,
had
and
people
I
flying
think,
from Puerto Rico. I know people from Puerto Rico, Texas, Florida,
yeah,
and they was just taking pictures of me, telling me where they from. And I'm
yeah,
like, yo, bro, I got people flying from all over. Like, what's wrong with these people, bro?
that's the same. We've seen Top Rank, PBC, other promotions take the local guy and feature them because they know they're bringing in the fans.
They
I
got a
think
lot
you
of guys.
proved,
They got a
yeah,
lot of guys from Brooklyn. They got a lot of
yeah,
guys from
exactly.
Florida.
And I
I'm the
think you
guy from the
proved this
Bronx.
fight. I
Let
think
me
you
be that
proved
guy.
this fight that you can bring, the crowd, that you could pack the theater, pack the garden. You got a big fan base, and I think that alone should get you a good sized contract.
And I
And on
agree with you
cue,
100%, bro.
I was going to ask another question about this guy right here. You know him
Oh, I
well.
swear I was just thinking about this man, bro. He's late. He's always sipping something.
Son,
My man, stop.
Consistency,
my brother.
consistency is the key to life, sir.
Well,
Yo,
real
Sock, I
quick,
like your glasses, Sock.
Thank you. It's after 10 o'clock. I got to put them on.
Crazy, crazy.
I know Ofacio has to go. My last question is a cheap plug for my best friend here, my co-host Socrates Palmer. You talked about the car accident, but how was it again working with Socrates, getting you ready,
Bro,
strength and conditioning as far as with the car accident, working with Sock? How was that?
I don't like Sock, but nah, all jokes aside, bro, listen, Sock, every fight, I've been working for Sock, I think this is 7 fights now. This man has gotten me in the best shape of my life every single time, bro. I've never doubted anything he told me to do. I do it with 150% me, and he always gives me 150% him. And it's not only like, when you go to the gym, you don't want to work with a guy. Sock is also a family to me, bro. I love that man, and this man, like, bro, he's helping me reach new heights, bro. Every camp is great, and this man is, yo, listen, if you anywhere around, you need somebody that's strength condition to work with my man Sock, bro. I promise he's going to get you right.
Thank you, sir.
Facts. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
only when
I'll tell you in the
he doesn't
morning.
have the only when he doesn't have the glasses on.
You got feeling my Freddie Roach look?
Nah, not the Fake Roach. You gotta.
Listen, I know you got to go, Facio. I want to thank you for coming on. I appreciate you.
I appreciate
If
you
you
guys.
got any last words, I mean, Sock, you want to say anything before Facio leaves? And then Facio, you could end it and just give us your last words. But Sock, I'll go to you, and then we'll end with Facio, and then we'll continue with the show before Facio leaves.
I'm gonna have to repeat myself. I said it, the last time he was on. Get on the Ofacio bandwagon now, because it's like if I'm putting you onto game, in 1996, I say, yo, there's this little company called Amazon that's gonna make bread. Just put a few $100s away, close your eyes, and you'll thank me later. That's how I feel about Ofacio. I think he's one of the best kept secrets in boxing, and sky's the limit. Sky's the limit.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
So Facio, I mean, any last words? We appreciate you, coming on. We hope to have you again, but and then we look forward for your next move, your next fight.
Yeah, listen, I appreciate everybody here for the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Big things coming up. I'm 12-0 now. I'm looking forward to being 13, 14, and so on. Just to remain undefeated. And for everybody that's watching, keep on showing me love. Keep on supporting me. My next fight is coming soon. Just stay tuned on all my platforms. You can follow me at Ofacio Falcon Jr. on every platform, bro. And hopefully, Top Rank sign me or something. Like, I don't know.
Thank you, Facio. And I need a shirt. Where's my shirt, bro?
I got everybody with shirts this fight. I promise. Everybody in here.
I've been asking for a shirt for like a month already.
Well, what size is Sock? You got to get me everybody's size, bro. I promise I'm gonna have everybody's shirt. I promise.
I need a Team Sniper shirt.
Everybody in here, bro. I got you.
All right. Well, thank you, Facio.
I'm
Appreciate you.
Half of those shirts I didn't even make them. I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Those shirts that people was in there with, I don't even know where they came from.
Wow.
Just letting you know right now. I wanted one. I was a fan of them too.
Hey, but most important, man, stay safe, man, and please, I say this all the time to anybody that's where you at. Please don't take a fight, man, that you know that you're not ready for. I mean, your life is more important than any contract. Be very careful, man. You only get one of these, and you only get one try, so just be very careful, man. But you got other than that, man.
That's one of my favorite quotes, bro. I posted that on the other day on Instagram. I was like, I got one shot right now, and if I do it right, I'm set for life. So let's make the best of it, bro. I appreciate everybody for the opportunity. Yo, everybody, God bless everybody in here, bro. And whatever you do, keep your head up, stay focused, and we're gonna make it, bro. Together. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Absolutely. Man. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Peace.
All right. That's Ofacio Falcone, guys, the sniper out of the Bronx, New York. Really, really good guy. Guys, I tell you when I'm biased and I tell you when I'm not. I am biased, but I am. I keep it real, but he's a really good guy, good kid, whatever you want to call him. Very humble individual, and he's a very, very talented fighter. And I appreciate Sock. Sock put me on. So thanks to Sock. Sock, you got a plug. He plugged you. Get straight to conditioning coach. And we're gonna talk a little bit about that too. I don't know if you want to announce. One of the guys you're going to be working with also. I didn't get to play any of the clips. Let me play a little clip of the knockdown. Hold on one second. I didn't get to, so hold on.
Six of 7 scheduled 6-rounders for Falcone went the distance at 9.
Ooh, look good, man. I'm telling you.
Puerto Rican can fight, man. He can fight. He can fight, man.
Salute to Thomas Hill. Thomas Hill says, "AD free. Have Tommy and Sock at the local radio station, ethnic food chains, and boxing gyms rally behind Ofacio to promote his next fight in the city so that the turnout will be huge." We're on the job. We're trying, man. I mean, he does a good job. He got some good sponsors out here in the Bronx, and and I'm telling you, if you was there live, he had a really good turnout. I know it's Puerto Rican Day weekend, that day people were there for Xander, but he had a lot of fans there show out for him, and being the third fight in the card to have that big of a turnout, very, very impressive. Very, very impressive. So, now we're just looking to get, bigger fights and, hopefully, we'll see what happens. He did drop a little teaser that, hopefully he'll be back in September. There's no date announced, but I did hear a rumor that September they are coming back to the Garden. I heard the main event. Well, I'm not gonna say the name. I don't know if I'm allowed, but I know who's featured. I mean, I don't know the opponent, but Saki Dash, should I say it? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it'll come out eventually. I mean,
yeah, I think they're looking to bring Shushu back in September, but this time he'll be the main event, not the co-main event. So.
That's great. I mean, that Shushu Carrington is on the rise, man. I mean, he fights the way people like to pay their money to see people fight.
What I didn't know about Shushu, and I found out a couple of days ago, was I didn't know that Shushu was sparring Tank for this fight that Tank got coming up
Yeah.
with Frank Martin.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I was like, oh, when I heard that, I was like, oh, that makes sense why Shushu was fighting the way he was fighting on last Saturday.
Yeah, he fights with an aggression that a lot of young fighters do not fight with today. He's a throwback guy, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if his name was Shushu Gonzalez, I mean, the Mexican fans would love it. Like he fights.
There we go.
He fights Mexican. He really does.
There we
That's
go.
a compliment.
No, he don't fight.
That's a
Mexican at all,
compliment.
man.
You know.
He has a little bit of that pressured style. Yeah, he does. It's not always like that because he can box too from the outside.
But
chooses
nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, I know, but but it's boxing talk.
He's taking care of business, man.
He takes care of business.
The hell out of these Amazon drivers. I can't wait to see him fight somebody though. He is whooping these guys up. That's a fact.
He's nasty, man. He's got a mean streak, and he probably could be a little bit more defensive, responsible. But the thing is, he had some firepower, man. He's really good, really exciting. I think the last exciting fighter at that weight class was like Gary Russell Jr. You know, he's like a speed and power combination.
You forgot about Brandon Figueroa?
Man.
I'm sorry?
Brandon Figueroa moved up, and he had like a 130
No,
now.
I'm saying he said that weight class. I'm saying you don't remember how Brandon Figueroa was doing?
Well, Brandon's a pressure guy, but I don't think he had that, that eraser.
He don't have the speed. He has the pressure, but he don't have the hand speed and the foot movement.
He's a
And I don't think he doesn't have that knockout power like that either.
No, he don't have that eraser.
Yeah.
He's a guy that'll pressure you and make you quit. He's a good condition, exciting fighter, but let's see. I mean, he's in match well also, so it'll be interesting who Top Rank puts in front of him in September.
Real quick, let me go. Yeah, Thomas Hill. Yeah, the radio stations bring more exposure, and maybe they can do giveaways for select a few fans to show support for him, like a free membership to a gym, dinner night or a restaurant. You're right. I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna look into that as well. Likewise, Raiders can do special giveaways to fans. Like, yeah, I'm gonna look into that, especially for Ofacio. But yeah, that's a good point, Thomas. So I'm definitely gonna look into that to help.
I think Hot 97 will probably jump on that to have a fighter,
or even in the local the Spanish stations as well.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. So
Thomas Hill, wow! I think that name Thomas Hill. I think of the Dookies. Thomas Hill.
Salute to you, Dr. Mark. Thanks for coming through.
Mark.
But yeah, let's finish recapping the fights this past weekend. I'm gonna rewind it to the second fight of the night. That was it featured the heavyweight Dominican out of Connecticut, Ali Feliz.
No,
the thumping he gave that guy.
Gonna be a problem. He might be the next big thing. He gonna be a problem. What I saw from him. I saw a heavyweight that can move, a heavyweight that got hand speed, and he got power. Like he got caught with a good shot, and it like woke him up. And from that point on, he was like, "Man, let me get him out of here." And man, I told BBO and them when we did our live because we came on after that fight had happened. And I was like, dog, I think I might have seen the next great heavyweight coming out of Dominican Republic. That man, he can fight. He gonna be a pro. I want to see him in there with somebody like Richard Torres.
Yeah, that would be a good fight. I think he beats Richard Torres.
Yeah,
which is funny you mentioned Richard Torres. Richard Torres, fought in the Olympics. Ali Feliz was supposed to represent the United States in the Olympics, but he turned that down. But maybe Sak, you want to go with this, but I'm hearing that he may represent DR for the Olympics, maybe?
There was talked about, but I think they're just going to focus on pros.
Okay.
That's what he told me after the fight, because he had that option because with the Olympics allowing professionals now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I I personally don't like it, but hey, if you could take advantage of it and get the exposure that the Olympics still could bring you, and why not? But from what he told me, man to man, that he's going to just focus on his pro career. And he was supposed to be back in the ring, again before August. So I guess we'll wait and see when something pops up.
He should. I mean, he got a knockout with the second round.
Yeah.
Second round, yeah.
Yeah, he broke more of a sweat in the locker room doing
Right.
pads with his father. He was sitting next. He was right next to us. So
I
And
wrote man, when I saw that fight, I wrote his name down. I was like, I gotta write his name down because I gotta see him again. I was shocked because I wasn't expecting to see that. I was like, okay, we got two heavyweights. Usually when you see heavyweights early on the card, it's a sloppy fight and they hugging on each other. But when I saw, I was like, ooh, he might be a sleeper. He might be a sleeper. But yeah, I wrote his name down. I said I gotta see him again.
well, Sock, is there? I heard that he may have a new strength and conditioning coach. Do you know anything about that?
it's a possibility. I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I hear that something's official.
Okay.
He's got a good team behind him. Aside from his father being a former pro, so he knows the game. He's got his brother, who's also professional, Fernelli Feliz Jr., who's 8-0, who fights in that heavyweight. Although his body's almost like a cruiserweight, but Ali, he seems like he's the goods. He's managed by the same people that manage Shakur, same people that used to manage Floyd Mayweather and Diego Corrales, Mr. Tony Leonard, who a lot of people have seen on TV, may not know the name, but Antonio Leonard out of Houston, Vegas. So he's, Top Rank Top Rank is a brand. They're not going to waste their time on just anybody. And they signed this young man because they think he's the real deal. And I guess we're gonna find out. Only time will tell. But like D3 said, you can see something, special in him, and like Torres and him. Hey, maybe 2 years from now, those are two young lions. I'm sure that Top Rank would like to build both of them, and eventually make a big.
Torres is stopping though, Sock. You know that, right?
Don't he got a brother that fight too? He got a brother that fights, right?
Who?
Yeah.
Torres?
No, at least.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I thought I heard him say. He got a brother that fight too.
Fernelli Feliz Jr., who's 8-0. So they're out of Danbury, Connecticut. They train at the same gym as
the Danbury.
Have y'all guys been watching Torres?
Their father works with the UFC light heavyweight.
Yeah, he was. Yep.
Pereira, who's a star.
Though, right?
They get good work, man. They're definitely going to be people to watch.
VVO, you got something smart to say? I don't know. He broke up. VVO?
He got that Joe Biden phone. Is on sleep mode.
He does. Yeah. Well, VVO believes that. He believes that.
Hey, you said I got the Joe Biden phone. Hey, you know what's funny, man? You said it about me because I'm black, man. I don't want to hear your Puerto Rican tricks. But I think Richard Torres is going to be a really good fighter, man. I think I don't know. I just think because he hang out with the brothers, that's why I know D3.
I'm telling y'all,
can fight, man. He can fight.
Richard Torres he get in there with some good competition. He's going to take his first loss.
I think so.
I bet you stop.
He's a front runner, dog. I'm telling you, he's a front runner.
Yeah,
He's not. Freeway never seen him in trouble.
Dog.
He hasn't seen anybody. But you've seen him in trouble in the Olympic Games. He got stopped.
Oh, Thomas.
He's a front runner, dog.
So he ain't fought nobody, but Xander Zayas, the Puerto Rican guy, he fought everybody. You be saying,
I never said that. We didn't get to that. Hold the phone. Let's get to that first. But I've seen Torres get stopped. You've seen Torres get stopped. That's what I'm saying. Huh?
He got stopped in the Olympics.
In the Olympic Games, he got knocked out.
It's the Olympics. That's not the same thing as professional fighting.
Okay,
that's even worse. That's even worse.
what I'm trying to tell you is that I've seen him lose when he fought good competition. That's all I'm saying, bro.
No, do you understand that
man?
worse? He got stopped
you
in
hear
the.
these guys saying this stuff
He got
about
knocked out
the
in the
next heavyweight
Olympics. That's
champion?
worse. You only fighting 3 rounds. He got knocked out in the Olympics. You only fight 3 rounds.
That dude he fought was a grown man.
That's the point that we're making, dog. That's the point that we're making.
Man, I can't.
The point is this. Richard Torres is the next guy.
Okay.
Y'all hating on him. He's about to be the next champion, man. I guarantee you.
Against
I can't wait to see if you're right or wrong on that one.
No, you think he could beat Usyk?
Of course, he'll never fight.
I think Usyk will be long retired.
I mean, he's the champion. I mean, right now, Usyk is the champion. So,
you're a wild boy, yo.
Usyk is almost done, bro. Usyk is almost done. He's on his way back to Ukraine real soon. It's almost over.
That's what you said about Tyson Fury. You said Tyson Fury was going to send him back to Ukraine.
You never picked the fight wrong? I picked the fight wrong. I mean, but you also told me Devin Haney was going to beat
this fighter wrong. No, I'm just telling you, dog. What I see
and we seen King Ryan beat the soul food out of Devin Haney.
What I see from Richard Torres is the same thing I see from Berlanga early in his career. He's a front runner.
Oh my God, dude! Berlanga fought a bunch of Amazon workers and knocked them out. That's a whole different thing.
Who you think Richard Torres fought?
He fighting Lyft drivers.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's move forward, man. You guys are killing me. We're gonna move over. We're gonna move on to the main event of last week's card, which was Xander Zayas versus Patrick Teixeira. What are you guys, thoughts on how Xander performed? Being that BVO has a lot to say, we'll start off with BVO.
Well, salute to my brother, to my man, Puerto Rican Tommy, man. The fact that you say BVO got a lot to say, that's just a slight at me because I'm an Asiatic black man. But I thought Xander passed with flying colors, man. He looked good. He beat the kid to death. I think the thing I noticed is that Xander got to work on his defense. He's too easily hit. And I think that his ring location was off. I think somebody turned his GPS off in his head because a lot of times he didn't know where he was in the ring. And that's going to be a problem as his competition steps up. You can't let a crafty veteran like that, Pat had him all over the place. That can't happen. But I think we've seen all the tools, man, that let you know that, Xander Zayas might be the truth, man. He just needs some more experience, but he might be the truth. I hate to admit it because I know Tom is excited about him, but he just might be the truth, man. I mean, I'm not going to say Miguel Cotto or nothing like that, but I think he got big-time talent. Big-time talent.
Sock, what do you think? I know Sock doesn't believe the same.
I think first credit to Teixeira. I thought Teixeira was coming to pick up a check, and he gave a decent showing. That's one of the few times do not get fooled by the weigh-in, because I thought Teixeira looked horrible, drained and he gave he went the distance, obviously. Had his moments. Xander is, if I asked you, describe Xander Zayas, is he a boxer puncher? Is he is he a boxer? Is he what does he do great? And I don't think you could really put a finger on it if you're looking at it objectively. I think he looks the part. Like if you was, if this was like a movie and you're casting people, he looks the part. He's about 5'11". Originally he was a welterweight, and then overnight he couldn't make the weight, so that kind of was a red flag to me. I'm like, why? And then all of a sudden now he's 54. I understand his age and people's metabolism and people grow, but I still think that he's really a 47 because I don't think he could punch at 54, and he hasn't shown it yet. He stopped the last opponent he fought. I just don't see anything great from Zayas yet. And if anyone that was in that building in about the 4th round, you could hear people walking to the concession stands. Like there was, the crowd was hyped. They expected, Xander to come in and walk over this guy. And 5th round, 6th round, people were sitting on their hands. You know, I mean, that's how I was there. You know, Tom, you were next to me. You tell me. You know, was that the energy? I think Xander obviously has potential. He's got the machine behind him, which is more important, right? More than anything that I'm saying, he's got the top ranked ESPN machine, and that machine helps. He fought a crafty guy. I still think the book is out on Xander. You know, I'm not ready to anoint him as the next great Puerto Rican star.
You know, I agree with you, Sock, to an extent. I mean, it's a lot different when you're there in person in comparison to TV. Teixeira's an awkward guy to fight. I mean, he's not a traditional, like he's very awkward. His style is very awkward, and I think that had something to do with, you know, the outcome of the fight. And he, like Sock said, he didn't come just for the check. He came to fight. On top of that, his mom passed 2 weeks before, about 10 days before. So credit to him. He came to fight. You know, his mom just passed away. He seemed a little motivated. He had a couple moments in the fight, but he seemed to take Xander's best shots. And if you were there, how close we were close to the ring, you can hear the thumping shots. The round 9, he opened up a cut. You heard it. Like, it was sick. And Teixeira was there and he took it. I mean, he didn't go down once. He didn't look like he was ever going to go down. You know, and credit to him. But yeah, I don't know if Xander has that pop, you know, for that division. That's a very tough division. You know, I would like to see him go to the body more. I think he was headhunting a little bit too much. I would have liked him to see him do what he's been doing the last couple fights, go to the body more, break him down more. But you know, Xander did well. I mean, I'm not saying A+, A. You know, I say maybe a B, B minus. And a matter of fact, after in the post fight, he gave himself a B minus as well. So, I mean, let's see how let's see how Top Rank matches him going forward. It's a very, very tough division. 154 may be the best division in boxing, right? Super welterweight may be the best division in boxing. Let's see how it matches. I would like to see him move his head a little bit more. When he steps back, he kind of leaves it on a straight line. You know, he's there to get hit on that. You know, and you can't do that with the 154 fighters, you know, the top guys right now. You know, and we're talking about guys like Bud Crawford's now 154. Spence is 154. Fundora, you know, even Erickson Lubin, you know, I believe Erickson Lubin called them out after this fight. I think that's a great fight. You know,
they can make a lot of money in Orlando.
Yeah, I think in Orlando would be a great fight because he lives in Florida right now, and Lubin is from Florida. That'll be a big fight. So yeah, I do agree with Sock. I think he's the goods. He definitely looks the part, but let's see. I mean, I'm not ready to crown him the next Tito, the next Cotto. Matter of fact, I asked him, and he said he's ready to take it, you know, to the next level, you know, and embrace it. So it just, you know, let's see how it, you know, how it comes in his next fight and the fight after that.
For the business of boxing, I hope he is, because New York boxing needs a Puerto Rican star. It helps. Believe me, it does.
Shame on y'all. Shame on y'all.
I mean,
yeah.
It's a good.
I'm a say. I think I gave Xander a B for the performance after that performance. I mean, we was great in every fight, and I gave him a B, and I gave him a B because he didn't go to the body, because I think he hurt him to the body. I believe it was round 6. He hurt him to the body, and I think he could have possibly stopped him. But the one thing that I think we all fail to mention is his opponent has never been stopped. His opponent has never even been down.
No, he has one time.
He been down or he's been stopped.
He's been stopped by Curtis Stevens, but years ago, like in 2016, I think. Like it was a long time ago. Curtis Stevens
at a different weight. At a different weight.
It was a bigger weight, 160, right? Yeah.
Curtis Stevens 160, yeah.
Okay. But that his opponent, he could have did better if he would have went to the body. I think he was focused on the head a little bit too much. Mm-hmm. But he was in control the entire fight. That's what I will say. Even though he was in there with a veteran, somebody who was a former champion, he was in control the entire fight. Like I don't know what BBO was talking about when he said the guy had him not knowing where he was at. I don't know what BBO was watching because Xander was in control of the entire fight. Xander had him on his bike the entire fight, and you would think that Xander would be the one that's on his bike because Xander does have footwork, and you would think that Xander would be the one on the bike because that fighter is a fighter that normally comes forward and press the action. It was the other way around, and Xander was the one that was pressing the action. And I think I'm not gonna say Xander. I'm gonna say Xander is the next Puerto Rican star. It's just he's not it right now. He's not it right now. That was a stepping stone for him to be the next Puerto Rican star. I think once he get another tough opponent and they finally see him get a stoppage at 54, I think I ain't gonna say finally get a stoppage. I think he got a stoppage at 54, but he get a stoppage over a notable name. I think that's what is going to plateau him to that Puerto Rican star. He has to get a notable name and get a stoppage or put on a boxing display, because I think Xander is a boxer puncher. Yeah, it's a bigger weight, but he still has power. He got respectable power. He might not knock you out with one shot, but he got respectable power to make you say, okay, I'm not going to just walk in on him. So I believe he is a boxer puncher, and I think he has the makings to be the next Puerto Rican star. Will he do it? It's all up to Xander. But I think he does have the makings to be the next Puerto Rican star. I think his team need him to focus on body more, because at 54, a lot of times the body is what you want to go to, because a lot of those guys at 54 got great chins. They got great chins outside of Lubin, but all the rest of those guys got great chins. They can take a decent shot. So I think he needs to focus on the body more. Once he realized he focused on the body more, those opponents is going to be there for him to tee off to the head if he want to go to the head. But I gave him a B for that performance because he didn't go to the body as much as he should have.
I'm gonna read off some names before we go on, but tough division. You got Sebastian Fundora, Tim Zhu, Virgil Ortiz Jr., Josh Kelly, Erickson Lubin. Xander's there now with Bud Crawford now at 154. We don't know how he's gonna do moving up in weight. Errol Spence is gonna be fighting at 154. We don't know how he's gonna do at the weight. Those are all pretty good fighters. I mean, this is a tough division.
Well, it's funny because I saw. I was looking through the rankings. Lubin is 4, and Xander is 5 by the WBO.
Yep.
So that's something that really makes sense. It makes dollars and it makes sense. And
I think Xander can beat Lubin. I think Lubin can beat Xander too, but I think Xander can beat Lubin because of the fact that Lubin has a questionable chin.
He's been in a lot of tough fights too.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Lubin has a questionable chin.
I thought Lubin lost his last fight, but he got
the
he lost to Ramos.
Yeah.
I think he lost to Ramos. I
can also see them bringing him and Ramos together. The whole Mexican.
I forgot about Ramos too. Ramos is another tough guy at 54. Mm-hmm. But I mean,
Ramos look big as shit, man. I don't know how he's making 54.
Yeah,
it's true.
You're saying Lubin don't have a questionable chin. I don't know what you've been watching. Lubin's been hit to the chin, and he's been dropped. I think in like the last 4 or 5 fights before he got in a fight with was he dropped in Ramos' fight too?
No, he wasn't dropped.
No.
Okay, so
he got beat up.
The Pandora fight, he got dropped and ended up getting stopped. The fight before that, he got dropped. I think it was like 4 fights straight. He didn't been dropped, getting hit to the chin.
Yeah,
I mean, he had the highlight reel knockout loss to Charlo.
Now he has he got decent recovery, but his chin is questionable.
Yeah, and he's got dog in him too. I mean, he's got up, right? Yeah. I mean,
his recovery is good.
Yeah,
but his chin is questionable because
he can hit. He's got punching power.
Yeah, he's got power. That's what I said. I think Lubin can beat Xander too, because Lubin does have power and he got great boxing ability. but I think Xander can beat Lubin because of Lubin's chin.
Yeah. All right,
I
let's
mean,
go ahead, sir. I was going to move forward to the next because we're running out of time. But let's move on to tomorrow. Tomorrow we got a lot of good fights. You know, we got the PBC card that's pretty much stacked in my opinion, and then Matchroom has a card also in Puerto Rico. It's a couple good prospects. I'll start off with the Matchroom because it's only really one fight that a lot of people care about, and that's Subriel Matias defending his 140-pound title versus his IBF 140-pound title versus Liam Paro. I think this is going to be a great fight. It's in Puerto Rico, you know, so the pressure will be on Subriel. I mean, what do you guys think? Thoughts about this fight? Is this going to be another knockout for Subriel, whose all his wins have come by knockout?
Ain't this guy that Matias is fighting? Ain't this the guy that beat Montana Love?
Yes, he stopped him. Yeah.
Argentinian, right?
Yeah.
No, he's I think he's from Australia.
Liam. Oh yeah.
He's from Australia.
Yes, you're right.
He's from Australia.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be an interesting fight early. It depends on what style of fighting Liam fights. If he fights the fight that he should fight, he can outbox Matias and beat him on the scorecard. I don't think he will stop Matias, but I think he could beat him on the scorecard because he got decent boxing ability. We saw that when he fought Montana Love. He got decent boxing ability. It's just a matter of, is he going to fight his fight or is he going to let Matias impose his will on him? Because we know Matias is going to come with the pressure. He's going to make you have to fight a dog fight. I'm going to say Matias probably win. I don't think it's going to be by stoppage, though.
Okay.
I think he's going to win on the cards. I don't think he's going to stop Liam.
Okay. BBO, what do you think?
I think Matias is going to win by knockout, and the reason I say that is because he used his head as a punching bag, so he lets people punch his head, and they get comfortable, and he catches them. That's just something that I noticed he's done. It's almost like when you see Canelo open up a little bit, like he opened up a little bit, and then next thing you know, we seen Jaime McGill on the floor with the uppercut. I think it's been proven that Matias kind of uses his face as his defense. Like he doesn't mind getting punched up to get you a little tired, and he goes to work. So it's going to be another easy fight. I'll be glad when Tio takes that belt off of him, man, because I'm so tired of hearing him run his mouth, man. He ain't fighting nobody. He keep calling people names, and he don't fight nobody. So I just hope that when Tio get done with this tough guy, Steve Claggett, I hope that Matias is next.
Sock, what do you think?
I mean, it's hard to go against the favorite, fighting at home. But we've seen fighters that fight at home that they can't handle that pressure. There's a lot of demands, a lot of distractions. You got to get, you talk about Matias, Titiana wants a ticket. Make sure you get, Primo Carlito and Tio Julio. You know what I mean? That stuff, if you don't have a team that's able to put you in that bubble and say, we'll take care of that, that stuff could drain could stress a fighter out, especially when you're trying to make weight. Now, he needs to get the bag fast because he's 32, and fighters at the lighter weight classes age faster than the heavyweights. We know this.
Yeah,
it's proven. So, and he's like BBO has said, he is not shy in calling people out, but he needs to focus on power.
Yeah.
He's a solid fighter. He's undefeated. So he's got that mentality of he doesn't know what it is to lose. So in his mind, he's all that and a bag of chips. And he's Australian, and those guys from that country, for the most part, are pretty tough. They may not be the most skilled, but they're tough. They believe in their craft. He knows he's playing kind of like with house money, so he's going into enemy territory. It's going to be interesting. That's a far trip. Talk about, the other side of the world. When did Liam Paro get in? Hopefully if I was on Liam's team, I would have been there 2 weeks ago to acclimate myself to the time difference, the weather.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hope they didn't play it cheap, because little stuff like that are factors in fights. You know, and Matias, we know, is a puncher. He takes people's will, right? And he is that boogeyman in the division. And it's an interesting fight, So I think Matias obviously is a favorite, rightfully so. I expect him to win, but Liam Paro, if you got $25 to put it on him, I would think that's a decent bet. If people like to wager, what are the odds on that?
It's a good. I didn't look up the odds today. That's shame on me. Usually I do.
Right now, I'm about to look.
I think the interns were not working today, Sock. I apologize. Usually I get them working to get the odds, but
you getting Friday off? Well, okay. Liam Paro is a plus 260.
Yeah.
Wow, that's not bad.
I told you.
Yeah.
So, if you got some money in the sock and you're not gonna use it. Why not?
We know what Eddie Hearn likes to do with fighters he just signs. He likes to give them the homecoming. We got 3 fights, which that Eddie Hearn kind of set up already. 2 of them are about to happen. One with Regis Prograis. He didn't look too good in his homecoming. Some people thought he lost to I think he's half Dominican or half Puerto Rican, Zorro. No, he's half Puerto Rican, Zorro. Right?
Yeah. Right.
People thought he lost that fight. And then now we got Subriel. I think the one positive for Subriel in this situation is that he doesn't train in Puerto Rico. He trains in Mexico. So it's not like he's there the whole time, any distractions and stuff. So his camp is in Mexico. And I believe he has a Mexican trainer as well. So,
if you're on FanDuel, Liam is plus 500.
Really?
Yeah. He's plus 500.
But is that 500 straight up or 500 for knockout?
Straight up, plus 500.
Wow.
And Matias is minus 600.
Wow, that's a big difference. But let me go back real quick. So real trains in Mexico, so the distractions I don't believe will be there. So I think that kind of favors him going into this as far as getting distracted with the homecoming fight. And then the third fight is going to happen, I believe, next month. Boots is going to have his homecoming fight. So we know Matchroom likes to do this. I know after this fight, hopefully if Subriel wins, they're going to probably line him up with Regis before they give him that big fight. I think that's what Eddie Hearn is going to look to do. Hopefully, I'm wrong and we get the Tio fight or somebody more relevant. But we'll see, because I think he washes Progress if that was to happen. But tomorrow's a tough fight. I expect Liam to be tough in this fight. I'm picking Subriel to win in the 9th round knockout. I think he stops him in the 9th round.
It's a good bet.
Yeah,
good bet. But like I said, I think Liam is a live dog.
Yeah, I think he's gonna make it 12 rounds. I think he's gonna win by I think Matias is gonna win by unanimous decision.
See, I got one guy that agrees with me. Thank you, Opulent LD. Appreciate it. Also on this card, there's 2 fighters, prospects. I'm going to look out for. Yanquiel Rivera. His last fight, he fought Andy Dominguez in an exciting fight. He's a good prospect. And then our guy from the Bronx, Ricardo Figueroa, he has a fighter that's fighting tomorrow, prospect. William Ortiz Rivera, 5-0 with 4 KOs. Look out for those 2 fighters, from Puerto Rico. They'll be on the card as well. Wish them luck, especially William Ortiz Rivera, because, Ricardo's our guy. So, we wish him well. So that takes care of that fight. Now we go on to the PBC card, the big card. A lot of good fights in this card, a lot of good fighters on this card. I don't know where to begin. We don't have much time, but I'll lead it off with let's go with David Benavidez. What do you guys think about the David Benavidez and his opponent?
I think David Benavidez is going to impress a lot of people. I know a lot of people think that BBO snoring like hell.
Is BBO sleeping?
No, I ain't sleeping, man. You a goofball,
That old
man.
nigga time? Oh man.
I heard a snort. I heard a snort. But I think David Benavidez is going to impress a lot of people. I know a lot of people saying this guy is tough. He gave Arthur a hell of a fight before he got stopped, but they thinking about a fight that happened a few years ago, and this guy is 37 years old. David Benavidez is 27. I think David Benavidez. Now they both look good on the scale today. David Benavidez looked like the normal David Benavidez, but he came in underweight. I think he was like 173 or 174. I think it was either 170. I think he was 173. Um, David Benavidez looked good. His opponent, he looked good. He looked cut up like a bag of dope. I think David Benavidez is gonna end up stopping this dude probably round 8, round 9. I think David Benavidez is gonna stop him.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to pick David up, man.
Oh wow!
It's,
So you think David's gonna lose?
I think David's gonna lose this fight. It's gonna be. I don't know if anybody ever seen Boys in the Hood. They're gonna have to carry him in the house, man. This dude is a really good fighter. What Arthur Better Beef does to you means nothing. It's about everybody can't do it what Arthur does, and I don't see David being able to do that. This is gonna be a guy actually his size. I think it's gonna be a good fight, but I'm favoring. I always mess his name up. I'm favoring the Russian dude or whatever he is. I'm trying to favor him.
Wow, Sock, what do you think?
I'm leaning towards Benavidez. Look impressive. I mean, look, this guy. The last time he was in a real fight was against Beterbiev. You know, credit to his team. You know, they got him 3, gimme wins. I mean, he fought 3 times in 2023 after getting beat up in 2019 by Beterbiev. He went the distance, but he really wasn't that competitive. You know, he got the will taken out of him. I think Benavidez is in his prime. I think he's gonna be too fast for like I'm sorry, like D3 mentioned, 37-year-old. Now, this guy comes from that Ukrainian boxing school, right? As we know, which is on par with anyone, right? You know, obviously they got the man, they got the heavyweight champion, they got Loma, and a lot of really credible fighters. But I think Benavidez is just right now in his prime, and he's going to be too much for this guy. I wouldn't be surprised he stops him. It's a good fight for Benavidez. Credit to his management. You know, he could pick up a little gimme strap, and be another 2-division world champion. But I don't see much resistance from Gavacic at all.
I tend to agree. Real quick, I just want to give a shout out to my man Johnny Boy Boxing. Thanks for coming through. Johnny Boy Boxing, I met at the fight last week. Really good guy. I hope to have him on the show one day and just chop it up with him. And I want to actually interview him and so he can kind of give us his history of him, in the fight game and covering fights. I believe he works with Fight Hype as well. I could be wrong, but I know he works for another boxing outlet as well as he has his YouTube channel. So shout out to Johnny Boy Boxing. Yeah, I think Benavidez is gonna wash this guy. I don't see a knockout though. I think Benavidez, his output, he throws a lot of punches. I think eventually he's gonna overwhelm this guy, and then I think he's just gonna look to survive. I don't see him stopping him. I think Benavidez will win in a unanimous decision. I don't know what PBO's talking about him getting stopped. I don't see that happening. I mean, anything's possible, but I just think David Benavidez is just going to be, too overwhelming for this guy, and he's going to be too fast for him. So I got Benavidez winning in a unanimous decision. I'm going to go to one other fight, and there's a reason why I'm going to go to this fight, and then we're going to start off with D3 because his family.
Real quick, I'm sorry. Benavidez is a minus 550. Gavacic is plus 370.
Yeah, it's a big time favorite for Benavidez, and I think it's a big time favorite for a reason, especially stepping up in weight and still a big favorite. I think that tells you a lot right there.
Yeah.
So let me go into the next fight, and I'll leave this comment on the screen. And then I'm going to lead it with D3 because it's family. and we're talking about the cousin of D Free, Gary Antoine Russell. He'll be fighting this Dominican kid, undefeated guy. I don't know much about this guy. Maybe you know much about him. Buelo. You know, he's undefeated. He hasn't really fought much outside of the Dominican Republic. You know, what do you think about this fight with Gary Antoine Russell? I'm just glad to see him fight again. I haven't seen him fight in a while.
Yeah, it's a fight that was offered to Gary last year. Gary team turned it down. For whatever reason they turned it down. It's here now, and this is the first fight that Pollo is fighting out of his home country, or should I say, fighting in the United States. I don't know if it's the first one he's fighting out of his home country, but it's the first one he's fighting in the United States. The problem that I have with this fight is this guy don't have power, and that's something that you have to have when you fight against Antoine. You got to have power. I think the guy is like 20-0 with like 10 knockouts. He don't have power like that. And fighting Antoine, you gotta have fighting Antoine, you gotta have power. I think Antoine is gonna stop him. I think Antoine's gonna stop him in round 9. I think he's gonna stop him in round 9. It might be sooner than that, but I believe it's going to be round 9. He's going to stop him, and Antoine going to be 18-0 with 18 knockouts.
Real quick, Opulent LD says Gary Antoine is the real king of 140. He just needs to stay consistent. I agree. I definitely think he's top 3 at that division. I really do. I want to see him more active. And I agree with D Free. I think he's going to stop this guy. The guy was 22-0 with 10 KOs. So you was right about that. 10 KOs, 22-0. Yeah, I think Gary stops him a little bit earlier than that. I'm gonna call Gary Antoine Russell a 5th round stoppage. Sock? You know anything about Tu Gente? That's your primo?
I don't think. I mean, Puello. He fought. He at his box rec. He fought once in Minnesota a few years ago. So he's been under that PBC banner for a minute. It's nice to see Gary Antoine back in the ring. That whole, not fighting. I mean, PBC not really getting any dates. So good for him. This is a big card, so there's gonna be a lot of eyes. So it's up to him to really be impressive. I think he could get a stoppage. I'm just looking at the numbers, like you said, Puello, only 10 knockouts. They say he's 29, but his hairline says different. You
cool, sucks.
I mean, he might be 35. This is the oldest 29-year-old I've ever seen. I mean, he's from DR, man. We use whiteouts on birth certificates sometimes with athletes, Gary Antoine is the real deal, but I think there's a good platform for him to look impressive, and hopefully this is the last of the tune-ups. Hopefully he gets a shot at the top 5 guys.
Yeah, and another thing that I failed to mention, this is for the WBC interim belt. So the winner of this is in line to fight the winner of Devin Haney and Shandor Martin.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now the one thing I will tell you about Puello, like I don't know him from a can, from a hole in the wall. He's gonna come out aggressive.
Yeah.
Just the fact, the culture. I think he's gonna come out aggressive. That could lead to him getting knocked out. So it could be pretty exciting while it lasts. And if you have confidence in yourself, and if Gary Antoine maybe takes this guy lightly, we could have an interesting night. But I predict the knockout somewhere maybe in the mid rounds, 6, 7.
Okay. BVO, you awake?
Puerto Rican Tommy, you're a wild boy. I think this is going to be another easy fight for Antoine Russell. I like Antoine Russell a lot. I've been real critical of his inactivity. I think it's just been absolutely horrible how inactive he's been. But he has a lot of talent. I mean, there's no denying that. I think he's gonna go in there. And I think he had a real opportunity to punish this guy. Like my brother Sock said, the dude might got a Cuban birth certificate because he look about 35, 40. There's no way that dude's 29. There's just no way. And it's just another easy fight for Gary Antoine. And I hope to see him in there with the Devin Haney's, the King Keos at some point. Because, I mean, I don't know what he's been doing. Where has he been? If next time I go to the fight and I see him, I'll ask him, what are you doing? Why are you not fighting more? But he's got all the talent in the world. He really does.
Yeah. So before we get to the main event, let me just mention some fighters. There's a lot of fights on this card, so I'm not sure how many they're going to show. But Elijah Garcia's on the card. I like him. He's 6.
Those prelims.
I'm really high on him.
The prelims are going to be on YouTube tomorrow. I think starting at 2:00.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna be on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a lot of fight. I see like 13 or 14 fights here. So Elijah Garcia's fighting. He's fighting Kyron Davis. High on him. Is fighting. Mark Magsayo is fighting Eduardo Ramirez. And then you have Carlos Adames. He's fighting Tero Gasha. I don't know much about this guy. But
Terrell is a decent opponent. I think he fought, if I'm not mistaken, he fought Boo Boo, or he fought
They fight Tim Tszyu?
Yeah, he's a decent opponent.
Yeah, he fought Tim Tszyu in a decision.
He dropped Tim Tszyu.
Yeah, he lost in a decision. Yeah.
He dropped Tim Tszyu.
He dropped. Yeah, he dropped him. He dropped Tszyu in like the first or second round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a decent opponent. So this is not a cakewalk for Carlos Adames. Not a cakewalk.
Nope, not at all. But being with the time, I just wanted to mention those fights. But that is another good fight. The Mark Magsayo fight should be pretty good as well. I want to see Elijah Garcia. I think he's going to win easy. I'm high on him. But let's go to the main event. This is what everybody's talking about. We got Gervonta Tank Davis taking on the Ghost, Frank Martin. This is a solid fight. I did not like the way Frank Martin looked at the weigh-in, guys. I did not. I've been high on Frank Martin this whole time and said he has a chance to upset Tank Davis. And I'm still picking Tank Davis, but I had said he gave him a shot. I don't know if I could give him that shot anymore after looking at the weigh-in. If you guys saw the weigh-in, you guys know what I'm talking about. He did not look good at the weigh-in. This is my opinion. You guys tell me what you think. But this is a big fight indeed. One of the toughest fights for Tank Davis. Without you looking at the weigh-in, what do you guys think?
I'm agree with you. Frank Martin, if you look at him from the neck down, you say Frank Martin is in excellent shape. You look at him from the neck up, you say, oh my God, this man is dehydrated. His face was sunken in. You could see his cheekbones. Mm-hmm. You could see the eye socket. I was like, this is going to be a easy fight for Tank Davis. I hope to see a chess match for at the minimum at least 5 rounds. But if Frank Martin coming in and do what he said he's going to do and step to Tank Davis, Frank Martin might be going to the showers early because he looked like he was dehydrated. He looked like he had a bad weight cut. He was really struggling. When they said, I think I heard somebody said prior to yesterday, they said Frank Martin was having trouble making weight. From what I seen, that's exactly what I saw. I saw somebody that looked like they was having trouble making weight. And Tank Davis came in at 135. Frank Martin was at 134. But I'm sorry, Tank Davis came in at 133. Frank Martin came in at 134. But Frank Martin looked like he went through hell to get to 134. So I don't see this being a fight that I thought I was going to see. I think Tank Davis is going to pretty much carry him for like about 5 or 6 rounds because I think Tank is going to take him to the deep waters unless Frank steps into something. I think Tank is going to take him to the deep water because Tank Davis said it in the press conference. Frank Martin is a front runner. He's a front runner, so I think he's going to take him to the deep waters and drown him. I think he's going to get stopped. At first, I thought it might go to decision, but I think he's going to stop him probably round 7, round 8.
Sock?
Yeah, I mean, I think Frank Martin is a good fighter, but I think to beat Tank, you got to be a great fighter. I think Tank. It's funny because you look at Tank's career or his life. He's a guy that really is able to handle distractions. Whether it be the legal issue, whether it be the promotional issues. Tank is in the news more for stuff that you don't want to be in the news for than what he does in the ring sometimes. But I think he's a special talent. I think he's must-watch TV. Um, I think Tank is just on another level, and I think eventually Frank Martin is going to run into something. I mean, Frank Martin had a tough time against Artem, the Armenian fighter that's going to fight Shakur, and that doesn't mean much, but it's just to show that, you know, I think that just the experience and punching power and the underrated defense that Tank has. He's fast twitch. Sometimes he fights down to the competition. I mean, we saw it against what's the name, the Cuban fighter that had like Gamboa. We saw it a little bit, even with not Pitbull. I'm not gonna disrespect Pitbull Cruz. I think Pitbull is pretty good, but we've seen Tank have these lows. But this is different. I think Frank Martin's gotten under the skin. I think it's a little personal, and I think we're gonna see a really A-level Tank Davis tomorrow. So I'm picking Tank to win between 6 to 8. I think he's gonna stop him impressively.
Well,
Maybe we get Tank and Errol Spence.
they were talking. They were
They were barking at each
chirping,
other
but
hard body.
I don't know about that. But yeah,
Errol
Tank.
Spence
The only thing with Tank is that he's been out of the ring for over a year.
Yes.
So I mean how much he may have some ring rust,
Yes.
and I think Frank is a good boxer. We've seen Tank, be down in the scorecards early.
Right.
We've seen Tank, like you said, fight down the competition. The one fight I take note of is not even those two fights, but the Barrios fight, the Mario Barrios fight.
Yes.
He was Barrios won some rounds,
Yes.
in that fight, and then eventually Tank got to him, and there was distractions because he had Floyd in the corner, telling him things, and that's a distraction in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I just it just changed everything. Before I was picking Tank Davis to stop him in the 10th round. I was gonna say my prediction was, before watching the weigh-in, was that Frank was gonna win early and that Tank was gonna come from behind the scorecards and stop him in round 10. That was my prediction. But now, after looking at Frank, I don't know, man. I did not like the way he looked, and I'm gonna change my prediction. It's still gonna be Tank winning, but I'm gonna say Tank beats him in round 6.
Yeah. I understand what you said about the Barrios fight. The only thing that I have to say about that is Mario Barrios 6 foot with a longer arm reach. It took Tank some time to figure out how to get the Mario Barrio. And once he figured out how to get the Mario Barrio, it was the beginning of the end, because we saw what happened. He caught him. Mario Barrio went down, and then he went down again, and then he went down again, and then they just said, "Okay, that's it. You had enough." But at this, I don't think Frank has the footwork. He has the boxing ability. The problem that Frank had, he fights in spurts, and he has lapses in his defense. We saw that in his last fight when he fought Artem. He Derek James asked him, "Hey, what's going on? Why are you not doing what you're supposed to do?" Frank's response was, "I don't know." You cannot go into a fight and not know why you're not doing something when you fight the best at the division. You have to be on point the entire fight. And from what the reports is, Frank Martin was sparring with MMA fighters. He was sparring with guys that doesn't prepare you for a Tank Davis. So I don't know if he has the experience to be in the ring with a guy like Tank Davis at this point in his career. Tank Davis is somebody who's been fighting since he was 6 years old. Frank picked it up at 19. So I don't know if Frank is ready for that experience. Frank is game. He's going to come in there to win. He's not going to lay down. But I just think Tank Davis is just too much of a seasoned veteran for Frank Martin at this point.
I agree with you, but the only thing I do take is that I give a lot of credit to these fighters. I give a lot of credit to fighters in big moments, and this is a big moment more for Frank than it is Tank, right? This may be his only shot for a while if he don't capitalize on it. So I think the urgency will be there for him at his age. I believe he's 29, and this is his big, his first big opportunity. I just, I was giving Frank a whole lot of credit up till the weigh-in, guys. I really did. I gave Frank a chance for the upset, even though I was still picking Tank. But now I just didn't like the way he looked, bro.
I don't know about that, Thomas. Usually when you get stopped or beat up by Tank Davis, you usually get a championship fight in your near future. I don't know. He might he might have to go to sleep and you never know. I'm just going by his most recent opponent, Mario Barrio. He's about to be the WBC champion.
I think he got mailed the belt, right? Didn't he get mailed the belt? Isn't he the champion?
Hey, he got put in position to fight for that belt.
Yeah.
Be in that position. Then you got Rolly Romero, the WBA champion.
You're right.
Then you got Pitbull Cruz, who beat Rolly Romero for the WBA championship. Then you got Ryan Garcia, fought Devin Haney for the WBC, but he was overweight, so the belt wasn't on the line. So I don't know. If you look at it, his last few opponents, they all end up fighting for a title shortly after they lost the Tank.
So we can say this, that when you fight Tank, you're going to lose, but you'll get a shot in your next fight at a title.
Probably.
Hey, you're right. I didn't think about that. You're absolutely right. You said all the guys, too. Rolly became champion. Isaac Cruz now champion. Nice job.
Good job, D-Free.
Yeah. What's good, Joy? Thanks for coming through. But guys, that's all I got. We was on for a minute. I want to
wait. Whoa. I don't know if you guys covered this, but did anyone mention about the possibility of the rumor with Turkey buying up all these or putting all these promotional banners under one umbrella? Did we talk about that?
I didn't hear that.
Yes, there's a rumor.
He wants to start his own league or
similar to the UFC. These promoters, they'll sell their mother's ass. I mean, if the price is right.
That's true.
So
if that happened, that will be great. That will be great.
Hey, Golden Boy, Oscar has no problem wearing fishnets. We know that. Eddie's a businessman. Frank Warren, if you're able to get all these people under one banner, it'll be interesting. Now, you wonder what it'll do to the smaller promoters and women's boxing, but that's something that's out there, and that will change the future of the sport.
Yeah.
Huge, and now it's up to, what it seems it's just a matter of getting people to sit down at the table, but apparently, this was made. And then of course, who's gonna bid for the rights to show these fights? You have all these platforms, the Zone, Amazon, Netflix. So that's something to look out for. That's a huge news. That's bigger than any fight that's happening this year, if that happens.
Yeah. Oh, another thing too, because that's definitely will be great for the sport about. That's something that we've been looking for a minute. But another thing that I saw was announced a couple of days ago: Boo Boo Andrade versus Kata Plant in October.
That's an interesting crossroads fight.
Yeah, that's a good fight.
Yeah, interesting.
And I like you said, crossroads fight. Both these guys, they need that fight. Let me go back a little bit to that boxing league that may develop. I don't think it's going to happen. I think maybe we might get some fighters commit to it, and maybe promoters will commit to some fighters. Maybe do like they did when they did the 5 versus 5. I think you'll see maybe a little bit more of that. but I just don't see it. I don't see these promoters, giving up their fighters or giving up the money, to do that. They lose a lot of money, if they do that. These promoters are greedy, bro. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't see it happening. I think it's good for the sport. I think this is something that boxing needs, but I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, we'll stay tuned. We'll see what happens, but I think we might see more of those 5-on-5s or this promotion versus that promotion type thing. I think, we'll see more of that. But as far as the boxing league and everything under, kind of like one commission, I'm not sure the promoters will go for that.
Yeah, I mean, or at least some co-promotional rights,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was rumored earlier in the year that Top Rank was going to sell the company.
Johnny said Turkey offered $4 billion.
Bruh, look, Bob is the GOAT.
That's $1 billion for each promotional company. The Matchroom, Golden Boy, Top Rank, and PBC. Each one of them get $1 billion.
Yeah, I mean, look, Bob is the GOAT, but that's an old GOAT. You know what I mean? We don't know if Todd DeBuff, his stepson, is going to want to continue the family business. There was rumors that they were going to sell their company about a year ago.
Yeah.
So I think that I'm going to push back a little, Tom. I think there's something that's very real.
Oh, Frank Warren too. Yeah. Thomas, are you big into video games?
Not as much. Not really. No, why?
I was going to ask you, are you excited for Undisputed coming out October 11th?
I am for that. I mean, I'll buy it and I'll put it over. But I'm not into games like that. But when good sports games come out, I do buy it. Like I'm into the soccer games, and when Undisputed comes out, I'm definitely gonna get that.
They said it's supposed to be 80 professional fighters that's supposed to be in the game, past and present. So I know a couple of them who didn't sign up for it, like Earl Spence, Tank Davis. But I know Jack Johnson's supposed to be in it. Who else? It was somebody else that we have never seen in a boxing game that's supposed to be in it. I know Jack Johnson is one, and I think I already know Deontay Wilder is in it. I think Tyson Fury is in it as well. But it was somebody else. It was a all-time great that has never been on a fight game, but it's supposed to be in it. I can't think of it right now.
Let's face it. We all know what you guys are gonna do. You guys are gonna make your own character. So the question is, what weight class you're gonna make yourself in?
I'm not making it. Hopefully they got one of my favorite. Well, I don't have a favorite fighter, but one of the fighters that I like to watch. I hope they got one of them in there, and I'm gonna use them to move all the way up to heavyweight, and they're gonna win every division.
Sock, what weight class you're gonna start off? You're gonna make a Socrates Palmer. I don't know what your nickname's gonna be. You're gonna make yourself.
I haven't played video games in such a long time. Listen, it was a struggle when they had the 3 buttons. Now look, I've killed off too many brain cells to play video games.
That's who it was. I think it was Pernell Whitaker who's supposed to be in the game. I think Pernell Whitaker is supposed to be in this game.
But Pernell was in one of the fight nights.
He was?
Yeah. Yeah, the one with Oscar on the cover.
Yeah, he was. Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't played Fight Night in so long. They said the last one was in 2011.
Listen.
I haven't played Fight Night since maybe 2004.
That's probably about the same time. I mean,
I think that's
the last one I remember was when Oscar was on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
They had some old time, I know they had Jake LaMotta in it. They had like some of the old fighters in there too.
And boxing games are pretty solid. They're normally pretty good. Going way back. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, still the greatest game of all time.
Holyfield.
Evander Holyfield boxing was solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Douglas boxing.
I don't remember seeing Pernell. I wish I don't.
Yeah,
I think he was in that. Yeah, he was definitely. He was in that fight.
Roy Jones back then, so I know I don't remember seeing Pernell because I was a huge Roy Jones fan back then.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna cop it. I mean, I usually get like I don't play video games like that. Like I said, it's very rare. Like Madden, you know, I didn't even buy this year's Madden. I didn't even play that this year. I didn't, you know, but I get the FIFA, always the FIFA every year. You know, Madden. Once in a while, it depends if I'm into it. I'll get the baseball game, but you know, they haven't been. It hasn't been the same since years. I know they were supposed to come out with a college football game. They haven't had a college football game in a long time. I think they're finally coming out with one.
Yeah, I think it's been like maybe 7, 8 years since they had a college football game.
It's been a while. I think this year they were supposed to come out with one. So
yeah, it might have been longer than that because the last one I remember playing, this was Notre Dame wasn't even good. That's the last time I remember they had the college game.
Geno Smith on one of the covers. I know they had there was somebody from West Virginia on the cover of one.
Nah,
it wasn't Geno Smith.
Nah,
no.
I feel like somebody from West Virginia was on it. It's been a while since the college.
I remember they having somebody from Michigan on there, but I don't remember West Virginia. I remember somebody from Michigan being on the cover of one.
It might have been a running back. It was somebody. West Virginia had somebody on the cover. I know. I think Michael Vick was on one cover one time, right?
Michael Vick was on Madden.
But he wasn't in the college either.
No, I don't think he was on college. I think that was before. I think the college came out after Mike Vick was pro. They started doing college games.
Damn, man, I'm gonna start looking this up because I feel like there was somebody from West Virginia that was on it. But anyway,
I get West Virginia mixed up with Michigan colors anyway.
Yeah, but remember when West Virginia used to be good?
Yeah.
You know, when they had Geno was
West Virginia used to give Merlin hell every year.
Pat White.
Merlin hell every year.
Could have been Pat White, yeah.
Whenever I think West Virginia, I still think of Major Harris in the Fiesta Bowl. Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for the football season. My boys is looking good.
Oh,
I love that background, brother.
Appreciate it.
Yo, Sock, he's hyped. He's hyped with Washington this year.
As you should be. I think the Skins are going to be all right.
Hey, I think we're going to surprise a lot of people.
We gotta bring Gio. Gio will never.
Why you got a Ravens? Why you sitting in the Ravens chair? Did you lose a bet?
No. Ravens is. I got this because my wife, she loved purple, so they didn't have a Washington Commanders, so I was like, I might as well get Ravens because I root for the Ravens whenever Washington's not in the playoffs because it's another home state team. So I can't root for nobody else. I got to root for the home state.
Okay.
But yeah, I only got it because of the colors. It would have been all black.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I can't wait with football. We're gonna be doing football talks, pretty soon.
OTAs.
I already got my background ready for football season. Here go my background right here for the new football season. Got a new background.
You know we're gonna do the picks again, and I know D Free gonna do the picks. Sock, you got to come on when D Free does the picks. There's a bunch of people that come on talk football. We be screaming at each other and everything, just like in the chat.
This year,
who won the picks?
Huh?
I did. I won the picks last year. Oh, far as y'all picks,
I think Sock won.
Yeah, Sock, you won the picks last year because we was going by points spread.
The point spread, yeah.
Mine
this year, yeah, I think this year we'll do it a little bit, do it the same. Maybe we try to involve a couple more people. But definitely we should jump on when D Free does his. They got he does a good panel, and we got guys all over, the country with different teams, which makes it pretty cool. We got a Titans fan, we obviously Cowboy fan, Eagle fan, he likes, the Skins, the Commanders. I'm Seahawks, Sock, Raiders. So we got, we got a Saints fan too.
BBO Cleveland.
Yeah, BBO with the Browns, and then we got I believe we got a Saints fan, and like A1 likes the Saints, right?
A1 like the Saints.
Yeah, we got different teams. Yeah. So it's a good. I want to get Gio in here because Gio likes the Commanders too. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we definitely gonna do that again this year. I try to do it every year. That way to keep people watching these games. I
Yeah.
mean, they're gonna watch them anyway, but it keep people keeping up with all of the games because you picking what team you think is going to win. So you're going to keep up with all the games. Same with the fantasy. We're doing fantasy again, and I'm winning it this year because I'm picking all of the Washington Commanders.
Yo, guys, I got to get going. I don't know if we're gonna be on again until next Friday. I'm looking to see if I'm gonna contact a few guys, see if maybe we could get them on, like Andy and Jahai Sock. Maybe we get them on. Maybe we could reach out to Ali Feliz. So if we don't, I just want to congratulate Sock on his Boston Celtics. I know they lost today, but they're gonna win, right? There's no way they could lose 3 straight more games and lose the NBA Finals.
Boston lost that game so they can win the title back at home. That's the reason why they lost.
I know.
It looked like it worked to me as well. It looked like the fix was in.
Yeah. So congrats, Sock. Did the Red Sox win today?
Unfortunately, they didn't. They ran out of outs.
They ran out of outs. Who they lose to?
I was concentrating on the basketball game, so I don't know.
The Yankees beat the Red Sox today. I had to get that in there. So not a good day for Sock, but eventually it'll be a good day because the Celtics should win the NBA title. So
absolutely.
But I would love for Dallas to come back too. You're right.
You would like somebody from Dallas to come back on you, would you?
Anyway, with that being said, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Ofacio for coming on with us and talking to us. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. It was a good show. Great talk today. Thanks, BVO, for coming through as well. And we'll see you guys sometime during the week, if not next week. Take care.
Champ of the world. Shout out to TD Sports. TD Sports. Let's go, chat.
Later, guys.